Alright, so I wanted to make a quick video today about offset peaks and white caps and freehands when to use them. And yep, so first base we have here, I used offset peaks rather than white caps since, well, there's three main reasons. First reason is that it's much easier to have offset peaks rather than having white caps and connections back. So how I would make the connection back is that I would have some foundations here, and then I would have the connection back to this spot here. So be something like this. And the reason that's tricky is because you have like all of these frames going up here, for example, that make the shooting floor, and it's not really possible to go through these frames here. And here I used offset peaks as well because it's much easier to have the offset peak than the wide gap peak here, since if this was wide gapped, well, the connection would be rather easy for this circle part. But then we have problems with space, and we don't have that much peaks as we would have here. Alright, so the second reason is that because I needed a mobility chutes from below here. This is bettering going around like this. So I needed a mobility chutes from this place to up. So how I did it is that I had the mobility chutes here. So when the mobility chutes are there, if this were wide gapped, I would like I wouldn't have this here, and I would meet some problems with the ring as well. So it wouldn't have that much cover, and I would need to move the mobility chutes somewhere else, and I would also have less of them. And here gets tricky with the bettering, as if these were wide gapped there, it would have a space, empty space here, and it'd be just very weird and stuff like that. And now the third reason is that with offset peaks, this wide gap China wall, or this is not wide gap China wall, but China wall next to base, is much better with offset peaks, since they are connected to the base, and you don't need the struggle of white gaps being off the base, and it would take a lot more space to have white gaps. So it would be tricky to make the white gap channel wall work. Same goes for here. It's just much easier to have them connected to. So the next base we have here is one of my old bases, and you can just see how the white gaps are forced here. So you could utilize offset peaks here, and also freehands. If you were to use freehands, you could use them in this corner, for example, or here also. But depends a lot on the situation you have. Offset peaks could work here, something like this. So you would have half wide gap and half offset peak. Maybe it could work, but in this case I would just play around with different styles. This could also work. You can have offset peaks in this foundation style as well. There's a couple of different styles you can have the offset peaks on, and well, this is probably the best one in my opinion. Alright, so yeah, it's like this. So you have the small peaks here and peaks here. Then you can also have the circle one like this, and you can mix these up. For example, this. Here you have foundations going through the windows. You have a full frame here. It doesn't work, but like that it does. And yeah, the next base here is Passo's base, koala. I link it in the description if you want to see it. But here he has utilized freehands beautifully by doing them like this here. So it gives nice peaks and doesn't waste that much space. And yeah, it's just much better than, for example, Widegaps here, since they take a lot of space. And freehands are also usually better in smaller bases when the corners are weird, or if they fit better than Widegaps and offset peaks. But usually freehands are not that good idea in larger bases, for example clan bases and medium group bases. That's simply because they take a lot of time to build, and if your base is six-sided symmetry, it's gonna be hard to make all of the freehands